Good evening, Chuck Morse here, Uber driver. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I want to share some thoughts about President Trump's travel ban, what's being called a Muslim ban. Should Muslims be banned? The short answer is no. Anyone who is a legitimate refugee whose life is in danger, this country has a great tradition of giving them a pass. We help bring them in. We help protect them. I mean, that's part of who we are as a nation. Unfortunately, recently, in the last day of his administration, President Obama chose to revoke that privilege from Cubans for some reason, so that when Cubans arrive on our shore, they are sent back to Cuba, which I think is a horror show. I mean, especially since that policy had been in place since the days of President John F. Kennedy. But putting that aside, should we let Muslims enter the country in a massive way? I mean, one of the aspects of President Trump's executive order was to put a halt to Syrian refugees, overall. I would say that it is appropriate to let in refugees, again, who really their lives are at risk. They've been screened at a very high level. And that we also should obviously not ban all Muslims. We need Muslims who want to come here, who are doctors, who are scientists, who have money, who want to invest in this country, and who want to take a loyalty oath to this country, who are going to be good Americans, and who want to contribute to our society. However, the problem is that Islam, as a political religion and as an ideology more than as a religion, that there are questions with regard to its compatibility to our American way of life. This is not the same as immigrants from other countries. It's not the same as the Irish immigration or the Italian immigration or the Jewish immigration or the French immigration. The problem with Islam is, again, it's not a people, it's not a race, it's not an ethnicity. It is a body of belief. It is an ideology, and the cornerstone of that ideology is Sharia law. Now, Sharia law is not the same thing as Catholic canon law or Jewish halakha law. Those apply strictly to people who voluntarily are a part of those religions and who take on those extra responsibilities. And those laws do not contradict the American Constitution. I mean, there's nothing unconstitutional about wanting to have kosher meat or observe the Sabbath on a Saturday. But Sharia law is another story. I mean, first of all, Sharia law is a political law that applies to everybody, whether you're Muslim or not, in an Islamic country. And as such, it runs contrary to our American understanding of what is appropriate. Excuse me. I have somebody snooping a little bit here. Constitutionally, our tradition is that the law of our land is the U.S. Constitution, not Sharia law, which imposes a set of other rules. And also, Sharia law has various practices within it that definitely contradict our Constitution. Things like the way they treat women, honor killing, sexual mutilation as part of the Hadith, which is also in the Quran, which accompanies the Quran, of female genitalia. Polygamy. A man is able to whip his wife and divorce his wife by simply saying, "I want a divorce 3 times." There are things that run completely contrary to our American way of being. I mean, Sharia law allows for the beheading of homosexuals and for the killing or the whipping of people who are, leave the faith, who are, it also has dhimmi status for people who are not of Islam, who live in an Islamic country under Sharia law. So Sharia law is not compatible with the U.S. Constitution. Now, Sharia law, my understanding, only takes place if Muslims reach a majority population in a country. And that's not going to happen in America. However, do we really want to have people who are, engaging in honor killings and murdering their daughters and their sisters because they're seen out in public with a man, or for whatever reason, because they've allegedly brought disgrace to the family? I mean, I suppose that in an Islamic country, I think it's sad and I think it's tragic and it bothers me. But if that's what the people of those countries want, and according to the Pew Research poll, vast majorities of Muslims in Islamic countries do want Sharia law, then I suppose that's their right. That's their sovereign right. But I don't think that those values are such that we want to import them into the United States. So again, I think we ought to take a very serious look at whether we want mass migration of Muslims into the United States. We want Muslims who want to come here as individuals on a case-by-case basis, who can provide for themselves and who are, professionals and who are taking an oath of loyalty to our Constitution and are putting aside those sorts of things, like jihad and like Sharia. But I'm not sure that it is compatible for our society to have a mass migration of Muslims. And I would use as a case in point the results of mass migrations of Muslims to European countries, where these sorts of problems have manifested themselves and may manifest themselves in worse ways as the years go on. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Chuck Morse, your Uberman. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.